Charlotte, how are ya? Yeah. How many gay people we have out here tonight? A couple. Good, yeah. Any of y'all gotten more gay this year? Couple. Good. That's what I like to see. I know that I've gotten more gay this year because for the first time ever, a few weeks ago, I got out of my car in a parking garage and a man driving a truck drove by and called me a slur. And it was the right one. Thank you. It was my first drive-by faggoting. And the first one felt good. The second one, I can promise you won't. No, it was weird though, because it was a read, right? And I didn't know that men who drove trucks could read. They can. They saw me for who I am. No, is anyone out there online dating right now? What's that like for you? Horrible, yeah it is, it's just terrible. I started online dating in 2012. That's the year I downloaded Tinder. That is the year Tinder released. Why did you do that? It's because I was going to a private Christian university, and I was horny. And it was the only option for me. No, when you join Tinder in 2012, what happens is they only asked you one question. They asked you, do you like boys or do you like girls? That's it. And then for me, there was a super secret second question. It was just, are you sure? I wasn't. In fact, I'm still not. I'm what they now in the industry call a non-practicing bisexual. Because who doesn't like titties like a little bit? Right? Yeah. No, nowadays when you join dating apps, they ask you all kinds of questions. They ask you like preferences about race and about gender and age and sexuality and wealth and all different kinds of things. And as someone who doesn't have a lot of preferences for race or gender or wealth or age, up, not down, it's all very confusing to me because they don't have the one slider that I'm looking for, and that is for what they call a responsible man. You can't find that on the internet, folks. Listen, I'm not Destiny's Child, right? You don't have to pay my bills. But you do have to pay your own bills. I feel like the bar is really low here, please. And I'm just looking for a man who's a little bit responsible, and there's no way to do that on the internet, so I'm gonna invent my own app. And to do that, I think the only possible way to measure if someone is responsible is their credit score. So on the app, you get 3 photos, right? No words, I don't give a shit what you have to say. On the first photo, watermarked your Experian score. And on the second photo, watermarked is your Equifax score. And on the third photo, watermarked is your TransUnion score. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, I am not gonna be greedy here. Like, would I love to date an 850? Absolutely. But would I settle for the average of 650? For sure. There have been plenty of times in my life where I have settled for 500s. Yeah. There's a few times where I settled for has a credit score. And one very notable long-term time where I settled for generally knows what a credit score is. That was fine. I did this show a few weeks ago and someone came up to me and they asked, but like, Tyler, I'm really concerned about my credit score, and if I put my credit score on your app, it's gonna pull my credit, and it will negatively impact my score. I said, don't worry, it's a soft pull. People who know what credit scores are laughed. If the person sitting next to you didn't laugh, don't date them. Someone else asked me, they said, how do you get men with good credit scores on this app? And I said, baby, it's the same answer. It's a soft pull. So, I've been thinking a lot about names for this app. Something like Credit Karma Sutra feels right there. The Experian experience is fine. I've been trying to be more inclusive in my life, and I think there is room for a dating app for transgender people who want to get married. You could just call that TransUnion. If you're like me and you want to hook up with people who have good credit scores, Equifax is right there. Yeah, I did recently come out to my parents as bisexual. Thank you, it's okay, you don't have to clap. They're coming around. They knew I was gay, but it was really hard to explain to them that I like every man who's ever existed, and Susan Sarandon. Oh, you turn on the news and you see all the time, like, how am I supposed to explain to my children what being gay is? How do I tell them about homosexuals? And I have a different problem, and it's how do I tell my parents about gay people? Because y'all are weird. I feel like a Sherpa, like leading my dad up a mountain of just RuPaul's Drag Race knowledge. I had to tell him the other day that RuPaul is, not as widely loved in the queer community now anymore because of the fracking. My dad, who famously doesn't like RuPaul, for the reasons you think, now loves RuPaul. We've never liked her at the same time. I had to tell my mom the other day. She's coming around. She's trying to do well. My grandfather died, and she wanted to tell everyone in our entire family that she is an elderly woman who loves her gay son, which was very sweet. Oh my gosh. So she called herself a fag hag. She did bad, but she meant well. She did bad, though. She did really bad. So my dad is trying to relate to me a little bit, so he sent me a book. It's called How to Deal with Millennials in the Workplace. Which is weird, because look at me, I am a millennial, and I do have to be dealt with in the workplace. I told him, I was like, Dan, that would be like if I sent you a book called How to Be Racist on Facebook. We've both got this shit covered. No, he did recently block me on Facebook, which is very exciting. Round of applause for that, everyone. He posted an article on Facebook from one American Eagle news source, Russia. And I had to tell him that wasn't a great primary news source. He told me I was trying to cancel him. Which is weird because 2,000 years ago, my dad's favorite person got canceled. And is more famous now than ever. Nail that man to a cross. Dan does love to cancel people, including me. Congratulations to me. No, what else? No, so obviously, look at me. I'm queer. I've said the word faggot on stage. I'm a liberal. But we talked a little bit about the election already. The election is pretty close. Here's my theory of the case. I think that Joe Biden shouldn't have dropped out. And listen to me carefully when I say this. This is a joke. No, I think if I was Joe Biden's campaign manager, he made a huge mistake. I would have leaned in so hard on Joe Biden being old. I would have run an ad that opens on a graveyard. And there's fog everywhere. And it zooms in on gravestones. And you see Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush. And you see Jimmy Carter, and it says soon. And then you see Joe Biden, and out pops a hand. And he claws his way out of the grave. He goes, "I'm not dead yet, motherfuckers." I would have voted for that. No, I am liberal. The one thing I'm not super liberal about is I just learned that You're not allowed to call homeless people homeless anymore. Did you all know this? Yeah. Call them unhoused or people without housing. For me, though, I think maybe their biggest problem isn't branding. It's not like I call them outside faggots. Do you like Cracker Barrel? No, me neither. I'm actually really upset that Cracker Barrel is the only slur-based restaurant. Starting my own restaurant, calling it Faggot Wagon. That one's for me. Yeah. Y'all, my name is Tyler Prescott. Thank you very much. If you like what you heard, I have an 850 credit score. Come find me after this. Thank you very much.